April 27, 1993, a date forever etched into the hearts of a nation. Zambia, a country brimming with passion for football, was on the brink of a historic moment. The national team, affectionately known as the Chipolopolo, or in English the Copper Bullets, was set to shine on the global stage. But as the team embarked on a journey towards glory, fate had a different plan. In an instant, the hopes and dreams of an entire country were shattered. A routine flight turned into a harrowing nightmare, leaving an indelible mark on the world of sports and beyond. What happened on that fateful night remains one of the most tragic stories in the history of football. Join us as we delve into the events leading up to the disaster, the devastating aftermath, and the enduring legacy of a team that was taken too soon. This is the story of the Gabon air disaster. In the lead up to the Gabon air disaster, the Zambian national football team was experiencing a period of promise and rising prominence on the African football scene. Zambia reached the quarterfinals of 1992 Africa Cup of Nations, showcasing their potential and earning respect across the continent. This performance highlighted their growing competence and ambition in African football. The team was on a promising path in their qualification campaign for the 1994 FIFA World Cup too. Their strong performances in the qualifiers indicated that they had a real chance of making their first ever World Cup appearance, which added to the excitement and expectations surrounding the team. They had finished as high as third in the AFCON back in 1982, and even more recently than that had impressed at the 1988 Olympic Games, just 5 years before the air disaster. The team surprised the football world by defeating Italy 4-0 in the group stage at the Olympics in Seoul, Korea. Kalusha Bwalia, one of Zambia's most celebrated players, scored a hat-trick in that match against Italy. They advanced to the quarterfinals before being knocked out by Germany, marking Zambia as a rising force in international football. In reality, a decade of success had preceded the disaster, which makes things even more horrible. This team had shown such promise and become immensely popular at home. By the early 1990s, Zambia had a squad filled with young and talented players who were seen as the golden generation of Zambian football. The team's cohesion, skill, and determination made them strong contenders not only in African tournaments, but also in their quest to qualify for the World Cup. But dark times would overshadow any possible glories on the world stage. Disaster struck on April 27, 1993, when a Zambian Air Force de Havilland Canada DHC-5D Buffalo aircraft carrying most of the Zambian national football team crashed into the Atlantic Ocean shortly after taking off from Libreville, Gabon. The team was en route to Dakar, Senegal for a 1994 FIFA World Cup qualification match. Before that tie, Zambia had defeated both Madagascar and Namibia home and away, scoring 10 goals in the process and conceding just 2. Upon investigation, it seems like a series of bad luck led to the tragic events, and various factors led to the horrendous crash. Their final destination was intended to be Dakar, Senegal, but refueling stops were also planned for Brazzaville in the Republic of Congo, Libreville in Gabon, and Abidjan in Ivory Coast. The flight proceeded uneventfully to Brazzaville, where it made its first refueling stop. It departed and later successfully landed in Libreville, Gabon. The plane took off from Libreville at approximately 22:44 local time, but it would never reach its next stop. Why? The aircraft experienced mechanical difficulties shortly after taking off from Libreville. Reports indicated that there was an engine fire on the left engine, which subsequently led to its failure. The pilots shut down the malfunctioning engine but mistakenly shut down the working right engine as well, leaving the aircraft without any power. The accident investigation revealed that the pilot and crew were fatigued. They had flown from Lusaka to Brazzaville, then to Libreville without adequate rest. Fatigue likely contributed to the critical mistake of shutting down the wrong engine during the emergency. The aircraft was found to have had numerous maintenance issues. It had been in service for many years, and there were concerns about its airworthiness. Previous reports indicated that it had experienced technical problems on earlier flights. With both engines shut down, the aircraft lost altitude rapidly. It crashed into the Atlantic Ocean approximately 500 meters offshore, shortly after takeoff from Libreville. All 30 passengers and crew on board, including 18 players from the Zambian national football team, the coaching staff and crew members, were killed in the crash. The Gabonese authorities conducted an investigation into the crash. The final report highlighted the mechanical failure, pilot error, and poor maintenance practices as key contributing factors to the disaster. The loss of the team was a devastating blow to Zambian football and the nation as a whole, leading to a period of mourning and reflection. The tragedy also prompted improvements in aviation safety standards and practices within Zambia to prevent such an incident from happening again. The memory of those who perished in the crash continues to be honored and remembered, particularly through the successes of the rebuilt national team in subsequent years. The match was initially postponed to allow Zambia time to mourn and to rebuild their team. The tragic loss of the players and officials meant that Zambia needed significant time to recover, of course. In the end, the match against Senegal was rescheduled to July 4, 1993, giving Zambia a few months to form a new team and prepare for the crucial fixture. Despite the immense emotional and logistical challenges, the reconstituted Zambian team performed admirably. They drew 0-0 with Senegal in Dakar, demonstrating resilience and determination. Zambia continued their qualification campaign with a new squad, eventually finishing as runners-up in their group. This included a notable 4-0 victory over Morocco in Lusaka. Despite their efforts, Zambia narrowly missed out on qualifying for the 1994 World Cup. They finished second in their final qualification group after a decisive match against Morocco in November 1993, which they lost 1-0 in Casablanca. The manner in which Zambia handled the aftermath of the disaster, including their efforts to continue competing at a high level, left a lasting legacy. The resilience and spirit displayed by the new team members and the nation as a whole have been remembered and celebrated, culminating in their historic victory at the 2012 Africa Cup of Nations. This triumph was seen as a fitting tribute to the players and officials who lost their lives in the 1993 disaster. If you want to hear more stories like this, or even how Zambia came back and won a historical AFCON in 2012, then hit subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comment section below.